The Kashmir dispute is one of the oldest and most dangerous geopolitical issues in the world, involving three parties: India, Pakistan, and the Kashmiri people. The issue arose in 1947 during the partition of India, when the ruler of Jammu and Kashmir announced accession to India. Pakistan did not accept this accession, leading to the First Kashmir War. Since then, the dispute has caused three major wars and numerous border clashes. This is not just a border dispute between two countries but a human, political, religious, and global issue that could bring the world's two nuclear powers into direct confrontation. That is why experts often describe it as a possible flashpoint for a third world war. Over time, different circles have proposed several possible solutions to this problem. Some appear feasible, while others are more theoretical or idealistic. The first and most common solution has been bilateral negotiations between India and Pakistan. The 1972 Simla Agreement stipulated that all disputes would be resolved through talks. In 1999, the Lahore Declaration was another attempt in this direction. However, both initiatives lost effectiveness over time due to deep mistrust, political interests, and nationalist narratives on both sides. India's accusations of cross-border terrorism and Pakistan's objections to human rights violations in Kashmir repeatedly derailed the talks. The second solution was proposed under United Nations Resolution 47, which granted the Kashmiri people the right to a plebiscite to decide whether they wanted to join India or Pakistan. Pakistan continues to support this resolution, but India maintains that regular elections in Jammu and Kashmir already reflect the will of the people. India also argues that the situation has changed since 1948 and ground realities are now different. In this context, India's 2019 revocation of Article 370, which ended Kashmir's special status, was a major turning point. The third solution suggested by some groups is to make Kashmir an independent and sovereign state, belonging neither to India nor to Pakistan. This idea appeals to many Kashmiris, especially the youth who desire full autonomy. However, this option is extremely difficult to implement since neither India nor Pakistan is willing to accept it. For India, it would pose a challenge to national integrity, while for Pakistan, it would mean abandoning a historic claim. Moreover, an independent Kashmir could turn into a weak buffer zone, vulnerable to influence from regional powers. Another proposed solution is to accept the current line of control, LOC, as an international border, while allowing free movement, trade, and cultural exchange across both sides. This model, sometimes called soft borders or joint management, would allow both nations to compromise without abandoning their territorial claims. A comparable example can be seen in Europe between France and Germany, where deep historical rivalries were eventually replaced by cooperation through the European Union. Some international powers have also suggested third-party mediation by the UN, the United States, China, or the European Union to restore trust and facilitate a settlement. However, India strongly opposes outside involvement, insisting that Kashmir is a bilateral issue. In contrast, Pakistan has consistently welcomed third-party mediation, particularly through the OIC and the UN. There is also the status quo approach, meaning maintaining the current situation by treating the LOC as a de facto border and avoiding military escalation. While this appears to be the most practical solution, it leaves the aspirations of the Kashmiri people unfulfilled. Many Kashmiri youth feel trapped under military control, media restrictions, and political marginalization, which fuels recurring resistance and unrest. Finally, some experts propose internal autonomy for Kashmir, similar to what it enjoyed under Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. This arrangement gave Kashmir its own constitution, flag, and local laws. However, since this special status was revoked in 2019, this option has become highly complicated. Other models have also been considered, such as the one country, two systems model between China and Hong Kong, or Switzerland's power-sharing system among different ethnic and linguistic groups. But Kashmir's religious, military, and political sensitivities make it far more complex than these examples. It is important to remember that the Kashmir issue is no longer just a territorial dispute, it has become a question of human rights, national security, religious identity, and global stability. With both India and Pakistan being nuclear powers, even a small skirmish risks escalating into a large-scale war. China's involvement, the CPEC project, and the strategic interests of global powers further internationalize the issue. A sustainable and realistic solution can only emerge if all three parties, India, Pakistan, and the Kashmiri people, enter negotiations sincerely and with open minds. Essential elements of such talks must include representation of Kashmiris, respect for human rights, acknowledgement of ground realities, and international confidence building. Otherwise, this conflict will remain a constant threat not only to South Asia but also to global peace.